Hey there everybody, John here with Barely There Vlogs, and I'm here at the Wilbur D. May Museum in Reno, Nevada. This is a museum dedicated to Mr. Wilbur D. May. He was a man of many hats. He was a soldier, he was a world traveler, he was a musician, an artist, so he did a lot of things. He's praised in these parts because he helped a lot of children with disabilities do things and travel, which is very admirable. Anyway, I'm going to head into this museum and see what Wilbur D. May is all about. So this is for an upcoming exhibit coming at the end of the month. I'll be back for that. It's about dragons. So here's some of the preview to that. Now go into Wilbur D. May's collection here. This is the ranch he lived at, the Double Diamond Ranch. Replica here. It's like all the show prizes he won during his time as a rancher. And over here, some of his taxidermy. Why is it doing that? His guns. He's a big game hunter. This is a tack room, is what this is. Reproduction of a tack room. And Wilbur D. May was a man of many hats. So apparently he was also a musician. Oh, let's press this red button here. Red button.
During the next few minutes, we're going to tell you about an American original. His name was Wilbur D. May. From his constant travels around the world, he collected a vast assortment of cultural artifacts and eclectic treasures. And when he passed away at the age of 83, he left many legacies, especially to the young people of Nevada. His story is also the story of America in the 20th century, a real-life tale of adventure and discovery, of challenge and accomplishment, of kindness and generosity.
He was a very private individual, but he could be very compassionate and to worry a great deal about people, but he wouldn't show it.
But he liked the person who stood up to him. He didn't like somebody who grumbled. And he had a sly little humor about him. And he would grin and look at you, and you knew something was coming, and you wondered. And a lot of times I wouldn't be able to tell whether he was really kidding me or whether he really meant it.
Wilbur May was born in December of 1898, the third son of May Company founder David May. Although he enjoyed a comfortable upbringing, Wilbur was far from pampered. A birth defect had overshadowed his boyhood, causing him to limp noticeably. As a result, it seems, he became remarkably aggressive and athletic, ready for any challenge that came his way. It was the age of Rough Rider Teddy Roosevelt. As a war hero, statesman, explorer, naturalist, big game hunter, and world traveler, Roosevelt's mark was everywhere. It was certainly on Wilbur May. Wilbur was only 16 at the outbreak of World War I, but he soon left home for the battlefields of France, where he drove an ambulance for the Red Cross until America entered the war. By the time hostilities ended in 1918, he was a decorated officer. The runaway boy was now Major Wilbur May. More importantly, though, Wilbur had discovered the world of aviation and the freedom it could bring a young man. Once safely back home with family and friends, Wilbur decided to settle down somewhat. He took on junior management responsibilities with the ever-expanding May Company stores. In the meantime, he furthered his love of aviation with the purchase of his first single-engine airplane. He would eventually become one of the finest pilots of his generation. But during the Roaring Twenties, Wilbur was traveling by train and by sea, to the Far East, to Russia, and of course to Europe. Never simply a young man of leisure means, Wilbur was both a knowledgeable traveler and a superbly conditioned athlete, one who thrived on fierce competition and rugged outdoor sports. So it came as no surprise when, in mid-1929, Wilbur sailed for Kenya, Africa, to begin a 7-month-long hunting safari with Dennis Finch Hatton. Sir Dennis was the famed hunter and guide portrayed by Robert Redford in the film Out of Africa. Both men were aviators and expert marksmen. In those days, big game hunting was quite universally accepted as a gentleman's sport. It was only the first of Wilbur's many trips to Africa.
There was nobody in the world better to be on safari with. He knew as much as any of the hunters by the time I'd gone with him. He never took chances. He knew where the dangers lay, and he knew as much as anybody what you should look for and what you should guard against. And he was professional, is the word.
Wilbur learned early in his travels how to barter with the local inhabitants. His growing collection would testify to that, and to his becoming a keen student of culture, one who ate the native cuisine and observed native customs. While still on safari in 1929, however, the stock market crashed suddenly back home. The resulting economic depression left many without jobs or income. Ironically, Wilbur had cashed in his stock holdings for safe government bonds before leaving the country. He was able to buy everything back for pennies on the dollar when he returned in 1930. From that moment on, Wilbur was financially independent, free to travel when and where he pleased.
Everything was planned way in advance, and he was professional. I mean, he was a professional investor, and he was a professional traveler. He studied very intelligently and intensely everything he did.
In 1936, Wilbur purchased a large ranch on the outskirts of Reno, Nevada, and turned his attention to raising cattle, thoroughbreds, and quarter horses. The Double Diamond brand soon became his Midas touch. He produced prize-winning livestock and racehorses year after year. By 1941, the nation was plunged into war once again. Since Wilbur was one of the most highly qualified pilots in the nation, he immediately volunteered for service. He was assigned to fly reconnaissance missions out of then secret Alaskan airfields. The flying conditions were extremely treacherous. In 1943, Captain May's plane crashed on an icy approach. He luckily escaped critical injury, but he had flown his last military mission. The post-war years allowed Wilbur to try his hand at something new, the arts. As a songwriter, he scored heavily with a hit novelty song, which sold over 100,000 copies. As a painter in those days, Wilbur progressed from rank amateur into a remarkable scenic impressionist. And one wonders, was there anything he couldn't have accomplished if he wanted to?
This is all the things he was during his life. An aviator. Wilbur is an artist. Some of his work here. Wilbur is a songwriter. I'll have to check that out. Pass the pizza, please. Sounds like a fun song. And then Wilbur as a soldier. Here's some of his medals, accommodations. Some more artwork. Looks like some of his things from his channel. Oh, shrunken head there.
Did he even bring this boat? Did he bring this boat?
He rode it back home.
Oh, he has a collection of money.
This looks like a recreation of his home, or his bedroom. It's various animal pelts, his military uniform. Like some pewter that he brought back from his travels. Stone sheep. Silver. Some guns. Like belong to him. He's an Indian thief. Wow, I can't talk. Some more guns. Canadian Eskimo sculpture there. Another one there, polar bear. Some figurines from Austria. Ooh, a fan and a cigarette holder from France in the 19th century. Venetian glass. Some Egyptian artifacts. It's kind of frightening. Over here we have, ooh, my buddy, polar bear. And a mask snowscape. Hey, Mr. Polar Bear. More animals from the African region. Aardvark there. Some tribal masks. More tribal masks, some sculptures. It's a baboon. Portrait of a Maasai woman. Some beadwork from the Maasai tribe. And here's a dik-dik. It's a smallest member of the antelope family. Look at it, it's so small. Little bird up here. Small bird watching a small antelope friend. Back over here. Ooh. Dwarf crocodile. There he is. Check him out. From West Africa. Oh, and you can see this guy up here. Mr. Giraffe. More African artifacts. Some wooden sculptures. Some more masks. There's some taxidermy animals along with some masks and some weapons. Some hunting knives, looks like. Zebra there. Warthog staring me down. Here we have, it doesn't say what that is, but it's a lion, obviously. Back over over to the African artifacts. Some more wood sculptures. Here we got a Sitaguna. Sitaguna? Sounds right. Some devilish looking horns there. More wood sculptures. Tons of wood sculptures in this place. Is that ivory? There must be ivory there. Ivory crocodile. Ivory man. You can see these birds up here. Some figures from India. These are very common in marketplaces in India, but they'll haggle you. I've been there. You know, they'll try to get as much out of you as they can, but it's worth it in the end because you come home with some cool mementos. A beetle nutcracker. More Indian artifacts. Some more from India. Pill boxes. The Perubu. Ooh, here's an exercising knife, ghost dagger used by lamas in Tibet for driving out evil spirits. I don't know if that's haunted. Some Australian artifacts here. Some weapons. What is that? Looks like a skateboard. Oh, it's a shield. Some things from the South Pacific. Very cool. Yep. And a Bengal tiger here. Over here, there's some ceramics from China. Tang Dynasty. And then over here from the Qing Dynasty, some snuff bottles. Apparently they were used for smoking tobacco as a medical necessity. All different shapes, sizes, and colors. Whoa, look at those ones. Those are pretty cool. Ivory ball there. Doesn't say, but I'm guessing these are from China. Oh yeah, there we go. These are from China as well. Some weapons. Got some bows there. Different blades. Some more swords here. Over here we have the Suskis from Japan. There's Buddha there. These little miniatures. Alright everybody, that was my journey through the Wilbur D. May Museum. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.